It's a blessing to me that we should meet. So let's thank each in a seat and even those on their feet. See, we didn't think we'd be doing this back in 2003, but hey, here we are on live stream Podbean. Let's hit them off like 80s melodies from Aretha and Tina T. All about that RESPECT that allows one to listen and the other to speak. If we seek, we can find the pod poet that's inside. However, we should remember a poem doesn't have to rhyme, and it can be a full page or just a few chat lines. You can be grown or a child. You or I may have the words the divine uses to save lives. But however you spend your time right now, we are live. Give it up for yourselves one time. Welcome to the Pod Poets Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. It's a giant pod beanbag, and you're just supposed to find your spot and get comfortable and enjoy the evening. I want to welcome everybody who's taking the time to be here tonight. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on, so I appreciate you tuning in. Please get comfortable. Sit as close as you want. There is no social distancing rules here. None of that is in order. You can get as close as you need to be to vibe out with us. We want it nice and intimate. So boom, let's get it started. I want to meet our artists that are here tonight. We'll start with Carmel Poet. How are you?
Yes, I am well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Delighted that you could be here tonight. I know you're busy. I know you are a busy woman. You are in the UK today, right? Or live from a UK. Okay. Were you a feature?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate you taking this time. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get this to about 7 to about 8:39, because I know people wanna check out other things that are going on here tonight. But let me also welcome Brother Earl. Good evening, Brother Earl. How are you?
Peace, brother. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Happy as hell that I'm able to do this in these trying times and bring these artists together. I know a lot of that is happening, but to be able to create my own platform and do it in my own way is beautiful, and I appreciate the support. Yes. And back with us again for another visit. Please give it up for Furious Lord. What's up, Furious? How are you?
I'm doing great, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. Just ready for episode 3.
All right.
Excited about episode 3. I was nervous about episode 1. It went off, and then episode 2, and just excited about episode 3. Like I said, I know you guys personally, so I have some special trivia for you. But I think I want to get right into a couple questions. Carmel.
Yes.
Tell me why you write.
For the same reason I breathe. It's imperative.
Where's your favorite place to write?
On a park bench, somewhere in the sun.
Why?
Because I am closest to my ancestors when the sun touches my skin.
All right.
Okay. Do you have a poem you can share for us?
I think you should warn your listeners before that happens.
Is that right?
You know me.
All right.
You know me.
So, do you have, okay. So if you were introducing yourself to an audience, do you have a poem you would do that? You used to do that? An introductory poem that might not require a caveat?
Even my intro poems still require warning.
All right.
All right. So I guess I'll just come out and say it. What I know you to be as an artist is an erotic poet.
That's right.
Okay. So erotic poetry, this, first of all, this is labeled as explicit, this live. So
All right.
if the content be that, then it be that. It's not to offend anybody. It's just art and our expression of that. So if it's an introductory piece that speaks to who you are, please delight us.
Okay.
Come on now.
All right.
No. Please understand, I'm not shy. Far from
I
it.
know that.
It's just I have about 3 intro pieces that I do, and I'm shuffling in my head trying to pick one.
I know that feeling.
So I'll do the one that I did on my IG Live feature earlier for my people in the UK.
Okay.
I am the Energizer Bunny. I go hard in the paint. I am the bedroom bully, and I will make you faint. If you can't handle my body and give me all that I need, I will drain you of your DNA, take all of your seed. It's not my fault if my sex makes you lose your mind. That's my disclaimer. Sign on the dotted line. You still want to step up and say you want to taste, saying you can put this poetic pussy in its place? Well, its place is on your tongue or your dick once it's nice and hard. I promise to be gentle. You can let down your guard. I won't hurt you, at least not much. And even if I do, you'll still be craving my touch. The touch of my mouth, my hands, my cat. Soon as I leave, you'll be calling me to come back, wanting some more of this cowgirl action, saying you've never had this type of satisfaction. The way my hands moved while I was gripping you, or the sounds of my moans while you did what you do. You weren't ready for me to jump on and take charge. You said others got scared because you were so large. Well, I ain't never scared, and I won't run, although you might want to before I'm done. But don't worry, I won't complain. When your dick is tired, just replace it with your tongue and do more of the same. I can ride your face until I get mine, or we can switch it up and do 69. Although once my mouth gets to working down south, you might not be able to do much with your mouth except moan. Tell me how good I am. Lay back with your eyes closed and try to plan a way to keep this good stuff all to yourself, wanting to put me up on a shelf, but you can't handle it. Not on your own. While you're sleeping it off, I'm on my way home because this poetic pussy is too much for you to tame. I proved that when I made you scream my name. I won't tell anybody that I made you tap out, but I do believe your neighbors heard you shout. Maybe next time I'll just lie on the bed or maybe stand in the shower. You want to satisfy me? It's going to take some power. You got to be able to pick me up and give it to me up against the wall. To satisfy me,
Okay.
you're going to have to give your all. See, I'll take what I want if it's worth the sweat. And I haven't met a man that can make me tap out yet. But if you think that you can do it, step into the ring. Because if you can make me tap out, you are definitely a clit king. And that's that piece.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an intro. Oh, we here now.
Okay. Okay, so my children are in bed. Woo! So you took me there. And this is beautiful. I love that.
I distinctly recall giving you multiple opportunities to do something different.
What do you mean?
You asked for it. you asked for it.
Well, I'm happy I got it, and I'm sure the people are as well.
No
But I love
question.
that was. Yeah, boom. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, look,
See, Carmel?
do what you do. I got insurance. Keep going. Shit.
You need tap out pussy insurance, brother.
Yo, man, I used to write insurance, man. All I gotta do, man, is change a few lines, man. It's okay, man. I got insurance.
All right.
I'm covered, man. I'm covered.
All right, bro.
Grown folks.
Oh, yeah.
Grown folks. Oh my goodness. I love it. But I love that is an intro piece for you, because I think there is an art, a skill, a craftsmanship to erotic poetry. I've been around enough to hear different kinds of erotic poetry, and you've got a way about you when you do your thing. I love it, and I'm so glad people are getting to get a little peace, Yeah, boom back. Ladies and gentlemen, let me pull the rug out for my brother Earl. You are up, King. So,
well, alrighty then.
We still chefing up. I imagine we still chefing up. I heard that during the introduction poem. We still chefing up.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all right. So, how would you introduce yourself to the folks with a piece? You've been doing this for decades on decades. I just, matter of fact, let me sit back as a poet, as an admirer, honestly, and just watch you do your thing.
Well, on first blush, I would say I am a conscious, erotic, revolutionary with a strong sense of family kind of poet.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to believe that underscores my willingness and ability to touch on different areas through the word. You know, I'm gonna love my people, but I'm gonna have some fun along the way. So, I mean, folks know I do erotic and everything, but I'm gonna start off with another poem that may sort of, I think, put where I'm at this moment. Okay.
All right.
From page to stage, the birth of a cipher begins. And whether life imitates art or vice versa, and what's worse depends. Still, I stand on my square and dare to part the water in order to wash away sins. So saints sing for the win when I coin phrases that make sense. So I cash in, because poverty is like prison. And parole is measured by the cost of living, driven by bonds booked, exclusionary. Freedom is illusionary. So in the meantime, I use mics to fly kites for commissary, cause the revolution may not be televised, but I'll be damned if this soldier isn't subsidized. See, I got mouths to feed, wants that I need, but don't mistake compensation for greed. This is a labor of love, but reality makes it a grind. So to keep my spirit aligned, I trace poems on chalk outlines, embrace death till the pain is confined, praying this too passes in time, cause my life ain't no crystal stair. Writing for change where there's none to spare, and still these jewels I choose to share, believing one day this man won't need a mic to stand behind these bars. Cause if we invest in one another, no more brothers will be forced to stand behind bars. But the backbiting, penny pinching, and snitching, while free speech is incorporated and censored, embody all my fears. At what price my blood, sweat, and tears? Only God knows for sure, but it's more than casualties of war from pandemics appear. My words cry for 5Gs die, not for applause or cheer, but for it's to stand apart, but for checks to balance from start, my stanzas gotta stand apart. Shank a pen, spell check a chin, go all out to get it in, come what may. Sometimes a Jedi spits what a Sith will say, pray or be pray to the gods to even the odds. Right, wrong, whip rise, left behind with a hook. That's a punchline. Wish like Wonder Twins, finance and fine arts combined. Like when the village cared for griots historically, before there was currency. Cause fair exchange ain't no robbery. But since art and oppression exists symbiotically, I demand to be paid until we're free. And if you don't hear what I see, it's apparent that we've been stuck on stupid third eye in the shroud. That's why my wordplay works to move the crowd. So even when I whisper poems, scream out loud, I'm black and I'm proud. My reason to rhyme, make the past rewind, honor your bloodline. And in this lifetime, ciphers won't end. Then from page to stage will be a rite of passage again.
All right.
Woo! Brother Earl, how long have you been doing this spoken word?
Well, as a poet, I would say really 20 years. The first time I was writing some poems and sharing it kind of within a circle, maybe 25 years. If you count me being an MC,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
over 40 years. You know what I'm saying? So, I
Okay.
mean, it depends on where, we draw the demarcation
Mm-hmm.
line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But
Indeed. Indeed.
I have, word sound power has been a part of my
Mm-hmm.
life for over
Right.
40 years.
Incredible. Incredible. I was just I feel very lucky that I came across you because you were one of the individuals that I saw doing it. And I liked your style. I liked your style. I like. Let me ask you this. Has the reason for why you write changed since you've been writing?
Well, I don't think it's changed. I just think it's expanded. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
The
I got you.
first time it just expanded. Okay. I think the first poems that I was writing in this era, it happened in 1996, I believe. And I was actually getting over an emotional breakup. Me and this sister, we call ourselves in love. And she had we had two miscarriages and it broke her heart. And she just didn't want to be bothered no more. She was just, depressed and stuff. And it moved me to do something that I really couldn't, I didn't understand at the time. I considered myself more of a speaker, but it moved me, to write her some poems. And even though I didn't completely know what it was, I knew the fact that I wrote her some poems that this was a seminal moment in my movement, but, when I think back, man, the art has been, like, okay, you're an MC. I'd like to believe I was pretty good as an MC. But you go to college, and you start to be grown. So, you still love the music, but you're not in it in the way that maybe you like or whatever. You're being grown now. When I got out of college, I went straight into corporate America, like it was on. But
Got you.
When I think about it, the art was trying to get out all along. I can remember in like 1990, back when we had answering machines. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the voice messages. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about those.
And, I used to make a lot of effort on my answering machine message. The music matched the words I said. I mean, like, I was one of those guys. Okay. I didn't understand it then, but the art was trying to come out. Okay. Because I can think of the songs, some of the songs I used. I know I use a Faith song. I remember a Faith song, Soon As I Get Home. So I say some words, it's like, and I'll get back to you as I, I broke up with my son's mother. I put Tupac I Get Around on the machine. And all I remember is I had some words that matched that, and it was like, leave a message and I'll get around to you.
Okay.
So the point is, it's been there for a long time, and it just took some serious situations to really kick the door down and get me to embrace it, or at least be conscious that that it wasn't going to die. The MC in me was not ready to die, and that's just what it is.
I think a lot of artists can relate. I kind of wanted to pose like a similar question to Furious, just
yes, sir.
off of that idea of how that art and maybe the reason for it and how it's expressed kind of like can grow from wherever it started, however it started. So like I'll ask that same question to you, Furious. When you think about the reason why you kind of like started writing and that impetus, has that changed for you in any way, or like how has that been?
I would say it probably changed about 3 times, man. To be honest with you, the first time I started writing poetry was basically to just get girls. I was a nerd.
Gotcha.
I was a nerd in I'm still a nerd, but when you're a nerd in college, you know what I'm saying, you can't really talk to ladies. You don't have any game. So I figured out that I can rhyme a little bit. And I started writing this girl I had this real major crush on. She was a poet. And so I started writing her poetry back in college. And so, there was, after writing poetry in college, I discovered that there was this thing called spoken word. And I went to a couple of venues, first one being Cornbread and Caviar, and that was in Baldwin. And I used to go there. And that's when I realized that people actually liked my stuff. And I started performing there. So that was like the second time I started doing poetry. As I told you, I had quit for a while. I got married. I had a corporate job. It was pretty hard for me to get out. And then there were people like saying, hey, we kind of miss your voice. And I didn't realize it, but I had lost my inspiration. I lost my muse, lost my will to do it. And so I didn't think any of the stuff that I had was fresh. I'm like, I don't have a signature piece. I don't have like an intro piece. I mean, what am I going to do on stage now? I'm damn near 40, I am 40. And who wants to hear from me again? So once I bumped into brothers like you and brothers like Brother Earl again, going back to, freedom of speech in Harlem, doing that just pretty much gave me the energy to do this again, and I feel like I'm reborn there, as an artist. Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. It's nice to know that we have that effect on each other. Because like I said earlier, I'm inspired by each of you in one way or another. Carmel's been real quiet, but I'm gonna pull you back into this, Carmel. You've inspired me as well when it comes to writing erotic poetry. I got lucky, and I actually won an erotic poetry slam contest. Carmel,
you do realize that you won because I couldn't make it to New York that weekend.
All right.
Yes, I know.
All right.
That's a strong argument. But I definitely was up against serious competition because, like I said, this is new waters. But again, it's just that art, that growing, that expanding. And I know that for me, part of the reason why I right now, what has changed for me is really to stretch and grow. Initially it was very therapeutic. It was definitely like therapeutic. I find that it's still therapy now, but the engagement around the community and around the things around poetry. But Furious.
Yes, sir.
Can you, now that you've described how you've traveled your journey a little bit, that brought you to where you are now, as your reason for writing, can you share something with us?
Sure can. This piece right here, I think this piece right here is probably one of the best, I guess, intro pieces. And I just wrote it, actually. It was like last week or so. And I think this is probably one that describes what we do, what we want to do, and how we want to affect people. And it also has something to do with the, social commentary, because I do a lot of social commentary pieces. So this one is called Clocks.
All right.
Trick tock, 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 trick tock. For visions blocked out by rundown blocks, cell blocks, and pine boxes. Toxic thoughts that manifest into clocks that strap themselves onto backs to weigh you down into believing life is short. For visions that never evolve into dreams fulfilled, killed like babies aborted before they were ever conceived, deceived into unbelieving breaths and self-doubt, false clout achieved while thinking street cred is what life is all about. Eyesight cluttered, minds narrowed like one-way streets with double parking, that divine shine darkened beyond flesh by freshly conditioned target signs that place bullseyes on your psyche. Hearing false legends barking at you in the distance, faint voices questioning your every move, illusions from slander planting delusions of grandeur in your pockets right behind your eye sockets. Trick tock goes them clocks, running out of time to win the race. Wasted haste is standing at the finish line with a gun pointed at you. Hours spinning into minutes that split into seconds just to divide you into moments of happiness liked and shared, where popular ignorance is trending because truth tends to offend, so the youth spend their visions pretending their elders forgot to exist. It's all in the statistics they told you. You were never meant to mean anything, so you are left wandering, searching for meaning as time runs down like city blocks into cell blocks and pine boxes just to adjust them clocks to block out the shine from our suns. Trick talk, trick talk, trick talk, trick talk, trick talk. Thank you.
Fire.
Word.
Fire,
Trick
fire,
top.
fire.
Whoa.
Rah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
So what was give me a piece of the inspiration behind that one.
That one, I live in I'm not sure how many people know, but I do live in a project building, and I see a lot of youth around the hallways, and saying things like, life is a bitch, and then you die, and I work in corporate America, so you see two worlds on a regular basis. I go to corporate America, and then I come home to a project building, and you have so many people rushing through life to get this sense of success, and they're missing so many things that are right in front of them. So much beauty right in front of you. And what do you base success on? Do you base success on what people tell you about yourself, or is it a feeling of peace within yourself? And that really, to me, was what inspired that poem. You have these fake clocks on you that are, telling you that you need to be doing something at this time in your life. And I think I can relate to it, because after I turned 40, I thought, I'm done with poetry. That's it. And I think I still have a voice in this, and that's pretty much what the inspiration was.
Absolutely. Well said. I can relate as well. I read a book one time real quick. I read a book and it was about time. But it was about the comparison of time between like Eastern versus Western societies, and how like in the West it compared scheduling, let's say a meeting for 9 a.m.
Yes.
would be compared in the East to scheduling a meeting to when the first chickens start to crow.
Yes.
Or like it was based a different clock. It wasn't this, I guess, mechanical, this rigid. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's two different ways of looking at how you approach time. And I completely agree, because I think people understand what it's like to race against time.
Yes,
I've been in it myself. I can relate on so many levels to that. But definitely. I
gotta jump in and say this. If you can hear me, I gotta jump in and say this. Did any of you watch that movie In Time with Justin Timberlake? In Time?
Oh yeah.
Yes. You have to sell time, right?
Yeah.
And like buy time to survive, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Run
I
time.
remember.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Like that's a nice, that's a nice watch on your, that's a nice clock on your hands. Like, like you ready to get booked for it.
Yeah, man.
Well, speaking of time, it is that time. So we're about to get right into round one of our trivia game and test your knowledge. And we're gonna start with our sister from Houston, Texas, Karma Poet. Karma, were you born in Texas?
I wasn't born in Texas, but I got here as soon as I could. Don't ask me where I was born, because I'm not going to answer.
Okay, that's not a problem. But obviously you've made Texas home.
I was raised here. I don't remember anywhere else. So.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I came here when I was 10. I know some of Jamaica. I didn't travel a lot in Jamaica, but
please believe if I had been born
was
outside the disunited states of America, I obviously claim that. But since I wasn't, I will happily claim Texas.
Okay. Got you. Um, all right. Beyonce, I think, is from Texas, right? So looking up, thinking
She's
about
from
that. I don't
Houston,
know.
from the same neighborhood I was raised in. We both from Third Ward.
Okay.
Third Ward. All
Did
right.
you? Yeah, I don't really know. I've been to Texas a couple times. I went to Texas for a tennis competition when I was back in Nassau. Nassau. It was cool.
I featured out in Houston, and I had an absolute ball. It's been some years, but I had an absolute ball. They treated me so good, man. Oh man,
We
unbelievable.
take care of people down here, man. It's that Southern hospitality.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I had
There
some
you
fun.
go. That's what's up. All right, Carmel. I got some categories for you.
Okay.
So the idea is spoken word and poetry trivia. You have categories like tonight we've got movies, poet laureate, and I might know them. We'll start with those three categories. And
Do I get to pick, or you just gonna throw out
actually,
questions?
so I'm actually gonna have you start with the first category. I'm gonna have you start with the first category, and I'll read a question from there. But anyone who knows the answer, it's multiple choice, can respond in the first round. In the second round, do it a little bit different. So that means, Brother Earl, you need to be listening. I don't know if the food's ready, it's in the plate, or where you're at. Furious, be ready. And Carmel, you're just going to start off with the first category, and I'll throw the question out there. So movies.
Oh, movies, definitely.
Okay. Start right there. All right. So you're a first-time guest. Let's see if you know this. In the 2016 film Endless Poetry, two actors on stage open a guitar case and begin to hurl its contents at the audience. What were the contents? A, dirty laundry. B, shattered pieces of a guitar. C, pounds of raw meat. Or D, free tickets to their next show.
I'm gonna go with Dirty Laundry, and I'm just guessing because I've never heard of that movie in my life.
All right. It is Furious. What you got? You know this one? Brother Earl?
No, I don't know this one, but I would go with A. I would have. I don't know. It seems more poetic to air out your dirty laundry on stage.
I'm going with D. I'm going with D. Tickets to the next show.
Okay. You guys are all wrong.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to clap for you just the same. You're all wrong. Yes. that one
I
was
would
me.
fight somebody if they threw pieces of a guitar at me. So what was the answer?
The answer was meat.
Me.
I'd probably fight somebody for that too.
What movie was this?
Endless Poetry.
Endless Poetry. Right?
Yep. Okay. So call that the sacrificial question. All right. Now I'm going to throw the questions out there. And if you think you know the answer, just say it first. This is going to come from the category Poet Laureate. So in 1902, Poet Laureate Louis Untermeyer had shown an early interest in literature, but dropped out of high school to join A, the National Guard, B, his father's Taco Tuesday business, C, his father's jewelry exchange business, or D, his father's book printing business.
D.
Carmel going with D.
I'm going with D as well.
I'm going with A.
Okay. I see you guys need to warm up a little bit. Every one of you are wrong.
Damn.
Wrong.
All right.
Yeah.
Look, I study literature and history. I do not study poetic history. So
It's a guessing. It's very much a guessing game here.
yes, it is.
Yes, there will be a lot of that, which is fine. So next category. Let's go with I'll take another one for movies here.
Yeah, you didn't give us the official actual answer, did you?
What was the
Did I
answer?
miss that? His jewelry exchange business.
Oh, it was jewelry. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was C. All right.
My apologies. Thank you, Carmo. All right, let's see. Okay. In the 2016 film called Rhythm, actually Love Beats Rhymes.
Oh, hell.
It's a story about an aspiring battle rapper who enrolls in a college poetry course. Who plays the professor? Was it A, Viola Davis, B, Martha Stewart, C, Dave Chappelle, or D, Jill Scott?
Ooh. I'm going to go with D just because.
Okay. You got it.
I'm going with. Oh, it is? Oh, I was wrong again. Wrong again.
None of the other options fit. Like, none of those other options made any sense.
Not even Viola Davis.
Not even.
Oh, wow.
Not even. Not for that particular role. No, I can't see her in it. No.
All right. Next question is off that same movie.
Oh, hell.
So they go to a venue for a trip, a class trip. The host of the venue that they attend is a well-known male rapper. Now his name is not common. So who is the rapper? Is it A, Mos Def, B, spoken word artist and musician Saul Williams, C, Rakim, or D, Common?
I'm going with Mos Def.
I'm going with B. Saul Williams.
And I'm going to stick with D just because.
I put Saul Williams up. Oh boy.
You are right though. It is Common.
Oh, it's Common. All right.
It is Common.
You know what? The way you worded the question, I was like,
Was it a clue?
So it might have been a little bit.
I tried to kind of, that's one of the not so easy ones, you know. Try to put something in there.
All right. Yeah, I see. No, yeah.
But yeah, you still kind of got to know. If you don't know that movie, it still could be some guessing there.
Man, look, I don't watch TV, and I had never heard of that before you said it. So, okay, cool.
I didn't know about it until I was trying to put questions together either. So we're not that far off. So the characters. This is the next question. The character's name in the film, who gets through this journey to love poetry, is called A, Cindy Hot Chocolate, B, Coco, C, Diamond Godiva, or D, Simone?
I'm sticking with D. I'm sticking with D.
That's not correct.
I'm going with I'm going with Diamond Godiva just because I just like the name. Yeah.
What?
I just like the name Diamond Godiva. I'm going with that one.
Lord.
That one. Say them again. Diamond Condiva. But what's 2
Diamond
and 3?
Godiva.
Cindy Hot Chocolate, Coco, Diamond Godiva, and Simone.
I'm going with Coco.
You are correct. It is Coco.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. If you haven't seen that movie, it's all right. It's all right. Carmel, you wrote Metaphors, Moans, and More.
Yes.
Was that before or after Naughty Narrative?
Before. Metaphors was first.
Okay. What was the inspiration behind that? Behind Metaphors, Moans, and More? Was it any different than Naughty Narrative?
Well, my erotica is evolving. Like if you own both books, if you've read both of them, you know that in Metaphors there are a lot of pieces that kind of tease around the act. Like I don't actually talk about sex. Like I talk about foreplay. I talk about getting in the mood, but I don't actually talk about sex. Because I was still working out my own issues. Like I'm a choir kid. Like was raised in the South. I spent every summer in vacation Bible school. Like you don't talk about sex in public. So when I first started writing erotica, I didn't actually write, like I teased the subject.
Okay.
And so Metaphors has a lot of tease pieces that I myself don't really, looking at it now, consider erotic because I just don't. Now Naughty Narratives, of course, is, I would say, the midpoint of my erotic evolution. Like I'm still growing when it comes to writing erotica, but it's definitely hotter than Metaphors.
Okay. Can you share another piece for us?
You want something off the dome or from one of the books?
It's up to you.
Sir.
Whatever you feeling.
Sir.
Give it to us.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I am only going to give you an option one more time. So, I would suggest that you utilize that gift.
Okay.
Because you don't get too many of them. So, would you like something from one of the books? Or would you like something unpublished that's off the dome that I performed that I have not published yet?
I'd like something from the book. Or maybe a couple pieces from the book, depending on the length. Maybe a minute or two if they're short.
I can give
Is that
you
okay?
a couple of... Yeah, I can give you a couple of short pieces. One short piece from each book.
Okay, please.
And that way you get a little tease from both of them.
I like a good tease. Bring it on.
Yeah, y'all always say that. So
I love it.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
This one is out of Metaphors. It's called The Recipe.
The Recipe. Okay, give it to me.
I woke up to a pitched tent in the middle of my bed. That pole was heaven sent. Remove the canvas, now it's exposed. I am so glad that he doesn't sleep in clothes. No need for an alarm clock when you have me. I woke him up the same way I put him to sleep. Pay attention, here's the recipe. Slow circles from a warm tongue are the quickest way to make him come. When added to gentle suction at the right amount, that's almost enough to knock him out. Include a hand with the perfect grip while the mouth continues to sip. Throw in some pop rocks and a little humming, then he'll have a hard time not coming. This is the perfect equation to create the exact sensation needed to make an early morning protein shake. And that's that piece.
Okay. Felt like a quickie. It kind of felt, like a bit of a quickie. I don't know.
I told you it'd be two quick pieces, one from each book.
You did warn me. Yes. All right. Give it to me.
I'm good for warning folks. I make folks sign contracts. Anyway, this piece is from Naughty Narratives. It's called Whisper. As he whispered against my lips, he caused the kind of downpour that could sink ships, a storm. Yet I was more than warm, his tongue and mine intertwined as he whispered against my lips. No words, just quiet commands that caused me to be unable to stand without help, began to melt from the heat as his lips gently beat against mine. Whispered in time with my pulse, the rhythm of my heartbeat matched the tempo of his whispers, too weak to fight the feeling, yet strong enough and more than willing to talk back. Yet he had tamed this ravenous lioness with a whisper against my lips, moved my hips in time with his whispered flow to show my appreciation and desire. But his loud murmurings controlled the fire, always on the verge of ignition, ready to submit to him. Yet he demanded nothing except my lips to whisper against. And that's that piece.
Love it. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you much.
So, I'll just share this quote, just to big you up. You know, this is the kind of things people are saying about you out there. Is that Carmel poet forms proactive, passionate, metaphorical arrangements that can pull readers in two completely opposite directions, depending on the individual reading and interpreting the poem. That's something I found that was said by Realistic Poetry International. Do you remember that? Hey there.
Yep.
Welcome. Dope. So you're out there doing your thing. Lovely. That's great. I hope your body of work continues to grow. Another person with quite an extensive body of work. I got a couple of his albums in here somewhere. I went and I grabbed one of them just to create a question for later on. Is Brother Earl? I'm looking at poemography right now, actually, right in front of me. You've been doing this for so long. Can you share something else with us?
Sure. It's funny how these things sort of, manifest. I really had no intentions on doing anything erotic, but, I'm like, dang, man, you mentioned poemography. The sister just did the damn thing. So it's like, well, all righty then. Let's see where. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can. Okay. Sweat dripping, skin sticking, and I ain't stuck it yet. Hot mommy got a tsunami for me to get wet, and I'm thirsty. Hungering for the hors d'oeuvre to sample sexponentially. Tongue tactics like a PIMP, 'cause I probe in my poetry. So my phallus inserts more precisely. If ecstasy is a recipe, call me Chef Boyardee. Let it simmer, saute in 50 shades of gray, then serve as foreplay. The buffet of intimate. I want to taste you from behind. Massage a menage in your mind. Essa sketch your flesh with my nine. 'Cause if it wasn't for we, You'd celebrate being celibate, even though it's good enough to sell the shit. And I'm buying time just to explode. Let me ease on down the road to inhibition is in the pesh mode. Paint our passion everlasting, but color me purple, the king and his whiz. Then let Mr. handle his biz. I need the pleasure map to your G-spot. I want the pleasure sap seeping hot. Praise the Lord for the woman I got. Make her say, man, cause a man is all she needs in life to win. But enough of foreplay. It's time I put it in.
Fire, evident by the chat. Indeed. So that brought you back. Is that one from Poemography?
No.
Okay.
It's funny. I started to do I See You, but I just wanted to put some poems in the air that folks haven't necessarily heard. I may go with I don't know what I'll do if the next go round, but I just wanted to something in that area. In that area, just
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Because you know what it is, man. At the end of the day, Furious knows we can all take it there, but in our own way. Like I said earlier in the show, I'm still working on that craft. But Furious, I'm looking at one of your pieces of your body of work, Bionic Buffalo Soldier, right in front of me here. You signed it for me. Said, to my fellow out of town shooter, thank you, Furious Lord. Track number 4, Militant Love.
Oh, man. You know what? That's actually one of those pieces that I had that crush in mind when I did that.
Okay.
That was actually, that poem has got to be like 20 years old, man. And I think, I don't really remember. It's something like honey dip razor tip image cutting me deep with sweet visions of kisses, soft like petals of a chocolate covered rose. You are my sin, militant ghetto flower, thorn of gold. Shower me with divine nectar, touch my soul with Mother Nature beauty. Lady, you got me sprung. Feed off your erotic energy, divine. I can't remember the rest of it. But it's like, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. That one I wrote because it's there's one of the lines is about me watching her walk away to class and looking at the panty line of her sundress. And I remember I performed that live one time, and then I told myself I'm not doing it again. Because it's like, I feel weird right now as a married man. I feel weird doing any erotic poems. So to be honest with you, I didn't plan on doing one tonight. But it's funny with you. You like that one, that piece?
Well, the thing that I'm segueing.
Yeah,
that's what I'm segueing. And as I'm looking at what each of my guests have done.
All right.
We it's something that we all dab into on. We all touch on in our own way. So no, not necessarily that you had to do that piece. I wasn't even asking necessarily for that piece. I kind of wanted your commentary. Right. Yeah, I appreciate that's what I wanted. But I did also.
Oh, sorry. You know what? That piece I remember now. I had read James Baldwin for the first time. I had read a poem from him for the very first time. And the way he wrote it, it was different. And I can't remember the name of the poem, but he wrote it in like the words were all jumbled together. And so I was fooling around that night and decided, hey, maybe I should try to do something like that. Because I used to have one style of writing a poem. And so that plus, watching other poets do their thing, started me experimenting with different ways to write. And so I remember that poem came from the one that I had read from James Baldwin, and
Okay.
I started adding all the stuff that I think about when you know want to sex this girl. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, I mean that's what. But I'm surprised you saw that. I forgot that was even on the album, to be honest with you. But yeah, yeah.
I'm looking. But yeah, I appreciated your take on it. So it's up to you where you want to go with what you share with us, because I would love it if you could share something else with us.
All right. This piece right here is these are all I'm doing mostly new stuff that I've never read anywhere. So I'm gonna do this one. It's called Sad Comedy. All right. Them ain't tears of joy. Don't mistake this clown for somebody paid to make you laugh. Give you some outlet to forget about 9-to-5 survival. Tricks forfeited for bit rolls, flipped into currency like coins to be bought by some billionaire basehead who snorts front pages with baselines laced with headlines for tweet cred, slanging the same old okey doke like dope. Don't get high on this supply of processed priceless fools' jewels, shoe shine to look divine for nationalist evangelist congregations of the soulless, emboldened by their fear of intelligence, undoctored with divisive doctrines, infusions of illusions of a madman's delusions. Don't fall between the cracks. This episode of unreality TV ain't over. The writers fired themselves last season. You've been binge watching a rerun of 1960. 2020 barely started, and it seems like this show was TiVoed with old school capitalist captions, politicians speaking in segregated subtitles, audiences held captive as this comedian bombs over and over, live streamed for the dead like a band-aid for a bullet hole. The medicine is tainted with treason. Congress is no longer in session. The actors have forgotten their motivation, crying through their smiles, while channels have turned their viewers off to the truth, and Nielsen ratings have become more important than casualties. Don't forget to laugh on behalf of your puppeteers. The end is near to be continued. Thank you.
Heavy again. Heavy. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. So am I to assume there's a good chance if you continue at this rate, we might be able to get another project if you're feeling it?
Project. As far as like an album or something? Is that what you're saying?
Or book, other way of putting it out there.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm not at liberty to discuss immediate plans, but yeah, it's in the universe. Definitely, man. Definitely in the universe.
I'm encouraged. Yeah, that's how it works. Put it out there, and it can happen. It's a lot of work.
Unconfirmed sources say.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, firm believer in that. But that's what's up, man. Because Bionic Buffalo Soldier was your first solo project. Hardcore Poetics by Furious Lord. Just dope. Y'all inspire me, man. I don't know why. Of course, bro. Indeed. I gotta work on my stuff. I gotta work on my stuff. But I'm enjoying this. This is doing it right now for me. But I'm inspired as well.
I mean, to be honest with you, I have a crew that pushes me to do things. You know, and Brother Earl is down with us as well. But when you are surrounded by talented poets and driven people and positive energy on a regular basis, I mean, that album wasn't something that I planned to do. I mean, that was Kontiki XL. Those was my brothers out here working with me. They was like, yo, you have to do an album. All right. You're going to do an album. You're going to go to the studio. You're going to perform poems. You're going to be recorded. That's how it was doing. I was like, okay, I am. All right, we're going to do this. So that's how it is. When you are surrounded, I mean, you are a personable brother. I mean, you keep it real with everyone. I mean, you're an honest, heartfelt brother. And I think as long as you around people like us and all your fan base and the people who love you, you'll definitely be inspired to do some projects, man. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely.
I appreciate the love, support, and encouragement, for sure. Every time I continue to look around, whether it's a post that I'm seeing or just, people doing their thing, I love to see it. It inspires me. Karma with her work, it inspires me because I want to explore erotic poetry even more. But yeah, it's just growing. It's just a part of that growth process. With that right support, definitely come to fruition. So I'm gonna just speak it into existence right now.
Yes.
It'll just be a matter of time. I really wasn't gonna do any poems, but maybe I should. All right, I'm gonna do a small piece because I'm in the mood. Y'all got me there, so I'm gonna do my little piece of erotica. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Well, alrighty then.
All right.
See what you done started, Carmel?
For real. All right, see that on. Now move the chair. Let me see. When's the last time I did this piece? I'm going through let me go through. Let me think about this. Okay. She made me wait as long as it takes the gates of heaven to open up for a sinner like me, confessing, still bound by worldly obsessions, but I possess an erection for her chi, that sweet TIGHTI. Promised it would be thicker than your Ben and Jerry's non-dairy ice cream. But this is not a wet dream when she said, get on the bed because the angle is better. That's when I learned the difference between a pond and a river, as if I prayed for rain and the Amazon delivered. But I had to wait and wait and wait. As long as it takes a shooting star to zip past those rovers on Mars, her Venus battle scars, and teleport me where you stay. Just the other day, I was thinking at an airport kiosk, there's no pre-colonial Black Africa rugs at IKEA, but I want to put you in historic positions like Sheikh Anta Diop, because I love when you utter. Boy, you have some crazy ideas. All right, tell me I could done it right this so. Guys, when you get me started, I know is he. I think we lost Brother Earl. Is he there? Thank you, Rebecca. We're still in the building. Furious on the line. I think there's an audio issue. Or maybe I'm muted. Okay. He's back on. Who's back live with me? I think a little slight technical difficulty. Everybody seems to be on the line. Carmel, you there? Okay, Furious is there.
I'm still here.
All right, y'all could do with saying something if you can hear me. But you didn't drop though, Carmel, did you?
No.
You did.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I had a yeah. I'm here.
No problem. Okay, good. Brother Earl, can you hear? You still with us?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. All right, fantastic. Appreciate it. A little technical glitch. So we're going to start the next round of the questions. So this is going to be more targeted. And I know that might sound a way using that word. I'm trying to stump y'all, but I might be. Okay. This is for you, Furious.
All right.
In the spoken word album, Rise You Mighty Poet, the track called My Future Wife, that the artist describes seeing and imagining a female to be his wife while traveling on, is it A, a bus, on Route 110? Is it B, the FDR from Harlem to downtown? Is it C, an airplane going on a vacation? Or is it D, a train on the LIRR?
B.
B is actually not correct.
Again. All right. All right.
It was not on the FDR. All right, so let's see. Let me pass that question along to Brother Earl. Did you hear the question, or do you need it repeated?
Yeah, repeat it, because I'm trying to remember who that is. Shucks.
In the spoken word album, Rise You Mighty Poet, the track called My Future Wife, where the artist depicts seeing and imagining a female as his wife while traveling on A, a bus on Route 110, B, the FDR going from Harlem to downtown, or C, an airplane going on vacay, or D, a train on the LIRR?
I'm going with the train on the LIRR.
Facts. Correct.
All right.
Was that so you kind of had an idea?
Yeah.
Brother Earl, did you kind of have an idea, or did you rule some out? How'd you figure this out?
I knew it, like that sound from, you know how you hear something that you remember, but you don't know who it is. But I was able to eliminate that it was someone from the city. And to me, if you making a poem like that, how you gonna make a poem like that driving on the FDR? Okay, I didn't believe that. Okay, you know, it's got to be someplace public. I didn't believe that. Okay, you got to be seeing something.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Okay, and I didn't even know whether a bus went on Route 110, even though that's Long Island. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's Long Island. I knew it was in Long Island.
That's Long Island, but I went with the train, man. You know what I'm saying? Because how many of y'all take the bus out there? Who takes the bus in Long Island?
People do, but it's been a minute. People do though.
No, I don't take the bus in Long Island.
Yeah, I used to. All right, I see how your deduction skills. Because okay, I got you. Carmel.
Yes.
In the 1997 film Henry Fool, the poem Great American Poem is written by the character named Simon, who used to be a garbage man somewhere picking up garbage, a lawyer under the stress of casework, a statistician on hard times, or D, a third grade school bus assistant.
Oh, good Lord. I'm going to just stick with D. And I know it's wrong, but, you know, I'm like 50-50 with it, so.
Third grade school?
I just think you love D. That's all. That's it.
I mean, I do.
You noticed. Rich. Well, that's not correct, though. You can still get the D.
I knew it wasn't.
But that's not the answer here. So we got 2 points right now as we are in round two. Brother Earl got 2 points. Furious, I have you down for 2 points. And Carmel, I have you down for 2 points. So it looks like we're tied right now. And I'll give it up for y'all. All right. We're evenly matched. Okay, we'll work with it. Brother Earl, actually, Furious, I think you're up.
Yes, sir.
The 2011 film Shun Li and the Poet saw viewers studying the friendship between a Chinese woman and A, fisherman who came to Italy, B, two poets still chipping away at writer's block, C, a Japanese woman, or D, a tennis player who likes poetry?
Could you read the question again?
Yep. In the 2011 film Shunned Li and the Poet, viewers studied the friendship between a Chinese woman and
And
could have been a tennis player.
Okay. And then what was the answers?
Answers: A, a fisherman who came to Italy. B, two poets still chipping away at writer's block. C,
I will go with B.
You
I'm
go
gonna
with
go
B.
with B. Yeah.
Okay, you are correct, sir.
Wow, I actually got one right. Unbelievable. All right.
I gotta give this to myself. I didn't think this would happen to me, but it's happening. I gotta give this to myself. It's not B. It's not B.
Oh, it's not B.
It's not B.
Man. Oh man.
It's actually A. A fisherman.
It's A.
Who came to
fisherman.
Fisherman who came.
Where
to
did you see this movie at? Though? Did you see this movie?
No, I did not watch this film. I did not watch.
Where?
But it exists.
Yo, some of these film titles are obscure, man. These film titles are obscure, man. Like where did you find these?
Where are you getting these movies, man?
They're out there. I promise you.
All right.
Oh, okay. Who's up now? Brother Earl. The life of Cuban poet and novelist Reinaldo Arenas is portrayed in the film. Is it A, Cuba and My Pen, B, Before Night Rises, C, After Death and Halos, or D, Before Night Falls?
Whoa. I'm gonna go with B.
What letter was that? B as in boy or D as in dog?
B.
You're breaking up. Can you repeat it, please?
No. Hold on.
I think I lost him.
I'm still.
Did any of you guys catch it? Yes, I can hear you now. A little clearer now. Yeah. Did you say D? Did you say D? As in Donis?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. Okay. Just a little bit choppy on the audio. All right, appreciate it. So D is correct. Yes, it is. Before Night Falls.
Whoa.
Nice little flick. Mm-hmm. All right. Who's up? All right. Who's up? I'm losing order. Who's up now?
It's on me.
Carmel. Yep. Thank
It's
you.
on me.
All right, here you go. Since you haven't had this question yet, in the 1986 poem by Gil Scott Heron called "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised," Gil Scott says, "You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and drop out. You will not be able to," and finish the line. Is it A, you will not be able to bake pancakes in a Harlem sanctuary? B, you will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and Skig? C, you will not be able to see Xerox commercials with Reagan? Or D, you will not be able to write poems just for the hell of it?
I really want to say A, but I really feel like I'm screwing that up, and I'm so mad at myself.
Don't be. Brain's working. What you thinking? You want to get some help from the crowd? There's a phone line open. You want to get some help from somebody? Anybody think they could? Okay, Don is thinking B.
I know it's not C or D. Like neither one of those sound even remotely um, familiar. But I'm not
Okay, what about
100% sure.
Reggie?
I
Okay.
didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm
All right,
I'm gonna just stick with A and be wrong. Just tell me that I'm wrong and go on to somebody who could be right.
but he could have baked pancakes in the Harlem Sanctuary. But the answer
Man,
is B. It's B.
okay. Okay. All right.
Skag and skig.
Okay. I just knew C and D just did not sound like I'm like I've heard that piece multiple times. I know I don't
Okay.
recall hearing that.
let me throw this one at you. How many times do you think that the word revolution appears in that poem? Is it 19, 18, 17, or 16?
Oh Jesus Christ.
That one got you, huh?
Look, it's a number that when written numerically you start with a 1 and when you speak it it ends with a teen. That's the number.
Okay, I'm gonna throw that question. To you, brother Earl. How many times do you think the word revolution appears in that poem by Gil Scott Heron?
16.
Okay. Yes. No, that's not correct.
Oh,
We can be wrong together, brother Earl.
Rebecca says 18. It's close. It's close. The answer is 19. 19 times.
Empress got it.
It appears. Did she? Yes.
Yeah.
Did. See, Empress was a guest on the last show, so she may have.
Remember the answer.
Are you recycling questions?
I am coming up with brand new questions and using.
Are you
previous
recycling
used
questions?
I am using some and getting rid of some. Yeah.
wait a minute. You know what's hilarious is it's like someone like recording Jeopardy and then playing it for someone and they don't know it's a recording and then answering the questions and people looking at you like you're a genius. Like, yo.
So I ensure that anyone who's getting the question here as a guest hasn't had the question before. And if that has not been the case, let me know. She said, "I'll never forget that again." All right, some of this has really been sticking in my mind too. Some of this trivia. Okay, brother Earl, you said okay. So that was 19. That was a question for you. I got another question for you, brother Earl. Here it comes. Okay. Poemography is an album by someone you may know. This album. Don't laugh at him. He's ready. You ready, brother Earl? Okay.
I'm gonna have to be.
Poemography is an album by someone you may know. This album cover features some lines from the album. Can you finish that line? Quote, "The eyes are the windows to the soul, and in you I behold." Is the next line A, till dreams become a reality? B, deep almond wells, springs of eternity? C, hoping when you close, I don't lose control? Or when you're close, I don't lose control? Or D, so I hold you and never let go?
Deep almond springs of eternity.
That was too easy.
All right.
That may have been too easy for him.
Look, man, you know, fortunately, I remembered some of that poem, and you put a line or two in there that I don't know where the hell they came from. So at the very least, I knew it wasn't them. Like, so I didn't write that.
I was hoping it'd be something that you hadn't thought about in a long time. You definitely haven't seen in a while. But yeah, you're right on it. It's funny how I know these poems just live inside, and sometimes once you just start, you just find the words, kind of like what happened earlier with Furious. It's just how it goes. Okay, so right now we're at 3 points, Carmo. I've got 2 points for Furious, and I've got the leaderboard showing Earl, brother Earl, with 4 points. So that's where we're at right now. Moving right along. What I wanted to do tonight is I wanted to open up the platform a little bit and see if we can have anybody that would like to share something with us. Do that. So if you would like to, please feel free to call in. I would like to thank everybody again for listening and tuning into the PodPoets Lounge. This is an ongoing every Saturday event that is trying to bring together poets, spoken word trivia, and good conversation, just good old fun and vibe. For my poetry lovers out there, I do lives during the week. Sometimes we're writing poetry. Sometimes I might be playing some poetry. I want to start doing that a little bit more. But definitely encourage you to stop by and check it out when you see that it's live, and can chill and vibe, have a good time. So coming out of that round, I got a couple more questions. Anybody any hands raised? I don't see any hands just yet. All right. Appreciate that, Brian. Appreciate that. There are a lot of great shows on this platform. I encourage everybody to, when they have a chance, to come through and check it out, see what people are talking about. Brian he's a little bit nervous. Let's encourage. Do not be nervous. If you want, don't be nervous. If you got something on your chest, come share it with us. All of us has been in the game for some time. We've heard it all. We've heard people that are just starting out, people that have been doing it for years and decades. Thank you so much. Very talented panel indeed. A lot of gifted artists. Absolutely. Give it up for them one time. Yes. Okay. Question. Because I really want to know, I want to get into your heads a little bit when it comes to the writing and the process. Brother Earl, please, can you define poetry? What is it to you?
You know, it's funny that you would ask me that, because I was I had to be interviewed for a friend is doing a PhD in art therapy and the like, and she had asked me a question in regards to poetry and as it relates. Basically, what she did is she had me read a poem, and then the prompt was for me to take a line from the poem and write something. And for me, you know, right now, because it's in my head, this is what I think poetry means to me. Poetry, an expressive art therapy, giving voice to those intentionally the world refuses to hear, only seen to be shunned. So on the top shelf of the closet hides hope and fear. Pain, when your role in the caste system is clear. Cloudy while dreams remain a lump of clay. Patience spent in search of a better way. Saving emotion for a rainy day. Poured out when a teacher say, write what's on your mind. Speak till your spirit shine. Conjure compassion when life is unkind. Where else can I find a modality where my reality is an expose without edit or refrain? Sans suspicion nor shame. That's why on the top shelf of the closet, a black man's true self remains. Poetry to me is a refuge and an expression point where marginalized, oppressed communities can actually say what they think and feel without penalty. Okay. We literally live in a world where it's freedom of speech, but watch what you say. And
Right.
if you're a black man, whoa. Okay. So, you know, a
Black
poetry
students
to
and
me
stereotypes
really
around
is
that.
yeah, exactly. Poetry to me is really a place where it's bigger than this, but I think it's a place where marginalized people that have been denied a voice are able to speak. And and that expression should be free on all, you know, from A to Z. So it's just a framework of expression, whether you use rhymes or don't, or you know, monologue, whatever your style is. It's just a framework of expression, and
Beautifully
that's
said.
what poetry means to me. For me,
Gosh, you appreciate that. I like to pull that out of writers, out of poets. And welcome, Brian. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. A little nervous, but I'm good.
Well, that's all right. We're gonna start with a real easy, comfortable question. Hopefully, it is. What is poetry to you, Brian?
You kind of covered it. At the moment, it's been therapy. After being there with you last night, and you being kind enough to write one with Rebecca and I'm starting to see it again as expression and beauty. You know, and then I was listening in, and you guys had the erotica poetry, which I don't know much about. But as I was listening, and then you were going
Learning
to
you
trivia,
tonight, learning you.
Oh yeah. But I thought I'd give it a shot. Now I wrote this while I was listening to your trivia, so be gentle,
okay.
guys.
Give it to us. Give it to us.
Well, thank you. I call it black hole verse, and I guess I'll just jump in. As I approach you using love's flirtatious breeze, eyes locking, body's motion rapid, then freeze. Please, baby, please, those words I yearn to hear. Closer we begin to move as cosmic hearts beat. Given force my need builds, moving closer to shivering fear. I begin to caress Nate kissing breast, guiding her to heat. Wetness flows, saliva melds as I explore ever lower. Shared gasp, building tension fast, gentle climaxes as I collapse, engorged below her. Our love shared, black hole rare bliss engulfs us. Finally spent universes met within our most sacred lust. Love has bloomed, my sweet lady swooned, her might drawing away my power, as my beloved wife finally comes into her flower. Thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And
So
thank
you love
guys,
hard, don't you?
I do. I'm not gonna lie, host. I was sitting in the living room and I would glance at Rebecca, and that's the love of my life. I mean, you know, well, you and I have spoken, and
that's
you
magic.
know, you've been in my shows. Yeah. She pulls things out.
Tell the folks a little bit about your show, man. Please do. Let them know what you do on this platform.
We are comedic. We do a comedic talk show mostly. We cover a few serious issues, but you know, we're still finding our feet, host. If you know what I mean. Like we're still seeing where our show's
I'm a
gonna
newbie.
go. Thank you for your support.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for sharing, as always, for tuning in as well. Enjoy the rest. I know there's a lot going on tonight on the platform, right?
Yeah. And I'm gonna drop out here, and hopefully somebody else will come up as well.
I would love that. Thank you, Brian. All right, have a good one. Yes, I love that. I appreciate that. Anybody else? If you have any questions for our panelists, please share them. If you want to call in and share something, please do that as well. Yeah, that was dope. He loves hard. Yeah. I remember that some of my early poems were like relationship about my significant other. They get the pen moving. They definitely get the pen moving. Yeah, there's a little of, hey Monica, there is some erotica going on tonight. Absolutely. Yeah. If you're a poet, please call in if you'd like to share a piece before we get out of here. Appreciate everybody once again tuning in to the Pod Poets Lounge. Welcoming Furious Lord back in the building, as well as for the first time, Carmel Poet. She's a dynamic erotica poet. She has 3 published works out there that you do want to check out. Ask her questions in the chat. Get her IG handle. I'm going to repost that, actually, as a matter of fact. And joining us alongside them is the brother, Earl. So much, man, brother Earl. Every time I think about you, man, I just think about how much respect I got for you in the game. Because I continue to be inspired, and just so delighted that all of you guys. This is a dope, magical moment for me. I absolutely just love it. I could cheer all day. But yeah, I would love it if you guys have something else to share in the audience. Please call in. The line is open. Carmel, I have a question for you, my dear.
And I may have an answer for you, young man.
Okay.
All right.
So in my 36 years on this earth, I've learned a few things. So I have this quote for you. Just tell me what you think about this quote. I want your take on it. It says that every human is born to change the world. Unfortunately, some are changed by the world. What does that make you think about?
Well, I mean, it depends on 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
Your definition of the word change and your understanding of the word world.
Okay.
If I take a step forward, I've changed my location. It's a small change,
True.
minor change, may not affect anybody, but it's a change.
Indeed. I see where you're going with this. I like how you're breaking it down already. Let me take this call from Monica. Let's welcome her. And now you can continue to share any more of your take on it. Hello, Monica. Good evening. Welcome. How are you? You're not on mute, are you? Might be, maybe not. Yeah, I'm not hearing her. Okay. Well, as soon as you are ready, the mic is yours, Monica. We'd love to hear what you have to say on that.
Monica has, we're right in her wheelhouse right now.
Oh, are we?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're in her wheelhouse for sure.
Okay. All right. So we definitely want her to bless us tonight. Yes. So I'm feeling I like your breakdown and where you're going with this, Carmel. I didn't even think about it in that to that depth. I didn't. But to take it apart like that. So every human is born to change the world. What if I stop right there? What do you think about? Do you agree with that, or what are your thoughts on that?
And again, I say, it depends on how you define certain words. You're changing something with every breath. You're changing the amount of time you spent on this earth. You may be changing your location. I believe Brother Earl was cooking earlier, so he was, changing himself from being hungry to not. You are constantly changing something. And when you look at the word world, people automatically assume the first thing that most people think of when they hear that word is the planet at large, all of humanity. You are not going to meet 1% of all of humanity. So to assume that if you're not doing something major, then you're not changing the world is ridiculous. Your world, your universe is your circle. So you can change your world, even if you never change the world. So it's about how you view certain things.
Yeah. Interesting. I was hearing a similar conversation, which kind of so is it like bringing it back to yourself? and how you see. Oh, I think Monica's calling back in. But your perception. I noticed for me, like, and what I've seen is I when I change me, sometimes it seems like my world changes. My
That's all that
interactions might
matters.
change. Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Appreciate your take, love. Appreciate it. So Mojave. All right, boom. Hey, people linking out. What up, Mojave? Welcome back. He was one of our guests on our episode 2. If you listen and check that out, brother loves hard as well. Serious passion, and he does so much behind the mic when it comes to the platform and poetry and pushing the art. Just beautiful. Okay, Monica, you here?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you, love.
Okay,
Welcome to
great.
the PodPoets Lounge.
Thank
How are you
you.
tonight?
I am
You're welcome.
great.
That's good. I'm so delighted that you could join in and that you are going to share whatever it is that's on your mind. As they said a little earlier, some things been cooking. I don't know if you already know Carmel. She's an erotica poet. They brought something out of me. Brother Earl dropped a piece as well. Brother got range. And I was talking a little bit about Furious's body of work, and he had a few poems there. But can you tell us a little bit about yourself and share something?
Sure. I'm Monica S. Martinez. The S stands for sex. I'm an erotic poet, an award-winning one, actually.
Sex.
So,
You did say the S stands for
yes, I
for
did.
sex, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want to make sure we got the right one in the building for tonight's event.
Not a problem. I'm the owner of Tantalizing Productions. Tantalizing Angels is my erotic poetry group.
Hey, dope.
Yeah, so, and I'm
find
from
them on
New
IG.
York. Yeah, Monica _sex_Martinez.
Okay, I'm gonna find
And
that.
I am the founder of The Art of Seduction, which is an erotic showcase that we host here twice a year in New York.
Nice. Please continue to, if you stay in the room, share your information in the chat with the folks. Okay.
Absolutely.
Please do. Yeah. All right. The mic is yours. Let me clap it up and share something with us.
Oh, wait, so are we PG or are we
Explicit.
What are we?
This
Oh,
is
we're
marked as
explicit?
explicit in case it went there, and it did.
Oh,
We're
did
here
it?
now. Yeah, we're just here now. Yeah,
Okay.
we're there.
Oh, wow. Oh, I don't know. I mean, Brother Earl, what do you think? Do you think this calls for heels, or I wonder if his lips taste like candy?
Gotta figure out what kind of night it is.
You know I love the one about them heels, man. I mean, both. I mean,
Hey, Empress is saying candy. Empress is saying candy. But
well,
she did
then
ask
Empress
Brother
says
Earl.
candy. Empress says candy. Fine. Okay. I told you when she was calling in. I said, "Oh, we are in her wheelhouse. We are good." Okay.
All right, well, why don't we do a little bit of both? How about that? Can we?
Okay.
Do that?
Yes, that'd be
All right,
yeah.
I mean, heels is the signature piece, so right. So we'll do that. We'll do a little bit of heels and a little bit of candy.
Sounds good.
All right. These heels ain't made for walking. No, they'll have you talking. By the time it's all said and done, you'll be Instagram stalking. So warning, proceed with caution. Don't say I never told you so. You see, these high heels, they're for show to go along with my sexy outfit with the pennies that showcase my clit. Come, get it wet. Shit, lick it till I squirt down your throat. You ever had a Latin dessert? Something along the lines of dulce de leche, a midnight delicacy. Make me come, daddy, as I wrap my legs around your neck, making you go deeper in till I'm heavily breathing. Shit, I'm your sweet sin, giving you an erection. I wonder if his lips taste like candy. They look delicious. He's got me salivating, floodgates open, hoping no one can hear the secret scream for freedom from between my legs. He's got my scoliosis straightening every time he walks by. I'm shy, but hold his attention with my pheromones. Telephone his attraction. Let me dial his numbers and my ringback tone be his only distraction. I want him to get all up in my heels, clicking my heels, giving him commands via Morse codes. Bells will be rung. His Mount Everest never to take rest from playing hide and seek. From his peaks, he will worship my valleys. You can get the rest of me on YouTube and on Monica S. Martinez.
Yes.
All over.
So that was that Candy or
That was Candy at the end, and then the heels was the beginning, obviously.
All right, lovely. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please continue to engage the community and get your word out. Let people know what's happening. And this is the Pod Poets Lounge, so you're always welcome back, fellow poet.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night. Give it up one time for Miss Martinez. Yes, that was fire. Taking me there again. Okay. It did kind of turn into that kind of night. I didn't expect it, but it just happened that way.
Did you just say
right.
You didn't expect it when you invited me?
Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah. But I'm so delighted that it did go down just like this. Because this is one for the books. Episode 3 is going to be like no other episode. And so, yeah. Episode 4 this Saturday at 7 p.m. again, ladies and gentlemen, all of you listening, please come through. Already going to start getting the word out, organizing the artists, because I just love doing this. Yes, you're very welcome, Monica. If there's anybody else, if you have a piece, if you have a poem you want to share, if you have a question for anybody on the panel, thank you, appreciate it. Let them know. Hey, Carmel, Brother Earl, Furious, do you guys have any questions for each other?
Well, before anybody starts asking any questions, because I don't know like how this works and if there's a time limit, if it's going to cut you off anything.
It won't cut you off. You can actually continue. But yeah, the show is wrapping up at 9.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned my feature on IG Live earlier for the UK open mic. I've got another feature coming up this coming Friday.
Okay.
Also IG Live. I believe it starts 8 p.m. y'all's time, like 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
But if you follow me, of course, there will be flyers and posts about it between now and then. So, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Good time to drop some happenings and let folks know what's going on. Brother Earl, how's things looking on your end? What's cooking in your pot?
Right now I am not doing freedom of speech, like on IG as of yet. I've been working so hard remotely, because I teach in the prison system. So they've been having us working remotely. So I've been kind of hung up in that, trying to make sure those guys are okay inside, and even the ones that have been released, and hoping more get released, especially due with what's going on. So
it's great work. Great work.
But I do want to ask Carmel Poet, where's some of the places she rocked in Houston? Because I know some of the poets out there. My man Seven.
Sound like she know him. Am I right?
Seven markets himself as a Christian poet. So he only recently started allowing light erotica at his events.
Okay.
So I don't go to Seven stuff. Much props to him for doing what he does, but I don't go to Seven stuff.
Who are some of the poets that you chill out with or cool with in Houston? Because I'm like, and how long have you been writing? Because it's been a while since I've been to Houston. but I almost feel like I've heard you before.
Okay. I love my city. Whenever I travel the world, I always come back. But Texas is the buckle on the Bible Belt. So
Oh,
I don't perform in Texas often. I have featured in Houston, but that's all been within the past 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with Dallas. My features in both of those cities have all been within the past 2 years.
Okay.
You know, when I first started performing, it was like on Blog Talk Radio and Talk Shoe and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up.
Sure.
So, I mean, if it's been a while since you've been to Houston, we probably do not know the same people. The only reason I even experienced 7 is because whenever a poet that I know that's not from here, comes here, I try to take them to an open mic. I try to show them around my city, regardless to why they're here. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Romeo Donati, but he came down here to perform at a private event, and I took him to one of 7's open mics, and yeah, we were basically asked not to return. So
wow. Oh, wow. What?
so
That's serious.
so
And you should have told them that, Jesus was keeping company with a whore and they was cool. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't argue with religious folk. No, I don't do it.
I hear you.
Like if you
Yep.
follow me on social media, one of my favorite hashtags to use is the heathen's heathen. I'm gonna be called a heathen for standing on stage and talking about sex. So I'm gonna be the best heathen I can be. I'm gonna be the heathen's heathen.
Heathen's heathen.
Heathens.
Hilarious.
So,
Hilarious. Oh man, that's beautiful though. I think at the end of the day, it's about embracing yourself. Yeah,
Pretty
I
much.
think that's where you get the best art from. And definitely hope the folks out there are doing just that. There's a lot of reasons folks might want you to doubt yourself when you're doing your thing. They might not see it for you, but that's all right. As long as you see it for yourself.
exactly.
I want to encourage everybody listening to check out the podcast on this platform. There are great conversations happening. A lot of the individuals that do podcasts actually stop by tonight to check in and say hello. Milky Way, hey, how you doing? Welcome. I appreciate it so very much that everybody came through. I could thank you, but it really wouldn't be enough. I can do another show though and keep this going. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. 2 hours, try to get it in. I actually wanted to keep the show for an hour, but I'm blessed with the time that I am able to do the show and share it with you guys. Carmel, like I said, I know you're super busy, but I appreciate you taking the time to come through and chill with us. I love the vibe.
Of course.
Yeah, same to you as well, Brother Earl. I'm deeply and immensely appreciative that you also taking the time with your whole life going on to chill, vibe with myself and my pod peeps here, as well as the folks here that on the panel.
Look, man, I had a great time. It was a pleasure listening to Carmel for, and being, just hearing, new voice, at least to me. Furious is my dude. TS to the death for life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir.
And I just want to say to you, brother, that I've watched you grow as well, man. Seeing your pen get sharper, and I appreciate being invited to this podcast. But I've certainly noticed your pen get sharper, and you just focus on your craft. And that's the beautiful thing about doing this, is watching people just, find their lane and then run like a motherfucker in it. And I love that. So keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Hey, much love. I appreciate it. It's funny that you said that because my definition for poetry is the mind, my mind running wild and loving the chase. So that's funny. And Furious, you already know. You are back for the second episode, last minute, because you're a supporter through and through. You're an amazing artist, so the folks always enjoy your presence, man. And I appreciate you as well for coming out.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I put it out there in the universe, brother, because I know it's in you. If you wanted to get on that journey of putting out more, but I love that you continue to do that. You know, just if you folks are listening and you decide to check the Facebook page, Furious always might be throwing up a poem. And you can stay in touch with him and see where he's at, what he's thinking. That way you can continue to stay in touch with everybody that appeared on the show tonight. That's the idea. So at the end of the day, I thank everyone for their support, for tuning in. I really hope you had a fun time. I welcome your feedback and questions as always. I want to shout out our sponsor at CompuFix Solutions, providing professional remote support. You can visit them at compufix.net and book your on-demand help desk tech. Special thanks to our special guests, Furious Lord, Brother Earl, and Carmel, the poet. Thank you guys for stopping by. I just want to give it up for you one more time. It was a true delight having you guys on, and the evidence is in my smile. So whether you guys out there enjoyed just listening or vibing in the chat, I cannot wait to have you back at the PodPoets Lounge. So spread the word and follow me on Podbean and IG. Again, Naquel Poetry. Some lives are still going on, as I said, so be sure to go ahead and try to check those out. For all the folks in the chat as well. Just appreciate it. I appreciate it. Stay safe. Everyone have a good night and take care. Peace.